Hello everyone, so welcome back to another video. This one's going to be interesting, and some people might find it cringy, I don't know. I'm just going to go with this. So anyway, after completing Undertale, it's just been stuck in my brain constantly, but in a good way. Thing is, when I played it, I wasn't exactly in the best place mentally, resulting in me getting fully immersed into the world and its surroundings, which, I like anyway. I like getting fully immersed into any game possible, but, this was one of those times where I felt like I put all of myself into this experience, not just that online persona that I call Moody, but as me, Dave. So, things had been slowly building up in the background that, I just don't tell people due to it being private, but needless to say, multiple things that I'd done and other factors that led up to the point before me playing, my brain's basically telling me at this point, when I was getting around to playing it, just enjoy yourself, just be yourself, and you can hear me tell this story in the actual playthrough as part of my journey when I'm going through Waterfall, where something just suddenly clicked and compelled me to just start playing Undertale. So, I took a journey to the top of the mountain and I fell into the underground to experience the game for myself. And in the playthrough, I deliberately chose to do the pacifist run because of a few reasons. I figured everyone would probably have the idea that Moody would play the genocide run for the sake of it, given how sadistic that side of me can be sometimes. But I wanted to experience the best ending, in my opinion, because I just wanted to get immersed in the game and enjoy it. But, there haven't been many of times where I can say I've done that on stream, where I can just get into a game and enjoy it. And, there are other factors like I wanted to enjoy the music, I wanted to enjoy the gameplay, the writing, and the environment. And lastly, I just thought, mentally it would be good for me, especially at this point in time, to get that happy ending. What continuously got to me throughout the run was parts of me genuinely showing up naturally. And by that I mean my actual real-life personality, waiting for Toriel in the ruins as long as I could out of sheer politeness, giving the statue in Waterfall an umbrella naturally and then sitting next to it because of the music that was playing, and then just soaking in the atmosphere while memories made me tear up for some reason I didn't quite understand at the time, not wanting to take things that didn't belong to me, even when people told me to the point where I ended up going through most of the game with just the default items that you start with, and then even at the very end, really unsure if I should even take some of these items, including some of the endgame stuff from Asgore's house. I got heavily invested in the story with Alphys and Metaton by design or by an emotional attachment that I formed. I'm not quite sure which one, but I did end up at some point relating a lot to Alphys due to stuff that I mentioned earlier on in this video, and stuff that I've mentioned multiple times on streams in the past to do with things like self-loathing. So much that when I finished up streaming that section of the game for that night, I ended up reflecting on it quite a lot about how I viewed myself based on interactions with Alphys and her opinions of herself and her own actions during the game's story. When Undyne and Asgore wouldn't take no for an answer, I still refused to fight, even at the cost of my own health, to the point of only resorting to defending myself after multiple attempts to avoid raising my own hand to them, because that's not who I am. I don't go around picking fights in real life, and I wasn't about to in-game either, so much that even after those fights got resolved, I was both frustrated that they didn't listen, and also happy that I'd finally made friends with them, and that I'd got them to see that I wasn't as bad as people said I was. And this too hit very personally due to some more recent events. This all led up to Asriel journeying through the True Lab and finding all the VHS recordings, and that all made me heavily invested in everyone's favourite fluffy goat boy. Maybe it's all this build-up that makes people attached to him so much, or the fact that you can't really do much for him at the end of the day, given how his story goes. But as I found out the truth of how everything had led up until that moment in-game, where I'm about to face down the god of hyperdeath, Toby hits me with the music again. I've always mentioned in quite a lot of these streams that I've done over the past 4 or 5 years that I love music in video games, and I'm incredibly easy to emotionally react to music. So, hearing the sad tale of Asriel the Fallen Prince with the Undertale theme in the background, or with memories in the background in the case of Waterfall, really started to break me. Something that I didn't expect to happen on stream, and thus, for the first time, you actually do get to hear me breaking down in part 3 of the Undertale stream. I try and hold my composure in at multiple times, but it fails, resulting in long pauses while I try and stop myself from just absolutely bawling my eyes out on stream. And this was a result of the right music at the worst possible time for me. During the fight with Asriel, you can hear all of this, and even after it, it hit me again when it revealed that I, David, had been gone for a long time. Sure, that's the name that I entered for Kara at the beginning of the game, but the more I thought about it, the more I just wanted to rename that save to Moody. I thought about it at the beginning when I was playing it and thought, you know what, I should have called this Moody. But I still treated it as Moody through that playthrough. You know, thinking to myself, maybe I should try and distance myself a little bit more from that persona when Asriel says, yeah, he wasn't really a good guy. I slowly regain myself towards the end of the game as it closes out, you know, with the satisfaction of saving everybody I could and coming out of the underground, but I was left with Asriel's question as to, why did you climb up the mountain in the first place? And honestly, I was thinking of a lot of things in terms of why Frisk would, but compared to me, it's only now, after going through a lot of thinking and more breakdowns, quite a lot of breakdowns, that I think I've figured all this emotional outburst out. At a time in my life where I was confused of what I was thinking, unsure of who I was anymore, getting a little upset, well, a little is an understatement, getting upset and dwelling on stuff that's happened and stressing myself out to breaking point with no exaggeration, when I was feeling like I was down at the bottom of a well, so to speak, with no visible way out, I fell down into the underground to find some self of who I was again, who the real me was, and what I value most, because all this got muddled up over the years, and I think I came out a better person because of it, because of all the interactions I had with certain people during the streams and after it, and all of the characters as well, and the music. And it helped me reevaluate some of my core values and regain that sense of self that I'd forgotten due to me being so messed up. So yeah, special thanks and shout outs to Exram, Proof, Zero Bad Arts, Crimson, and anyone else who was in those streams or who have commented on videos recently and given me comments such as, you know, this is the first time I've seen you genuinely happy in a long time, and, you know, just be yourself, don't listen to anybody else, just do what you want. Anybody that's left comments like those recently or on the stream when I was playing Undertale and really enjoying it and pouring myself into the game, that really resonated with me a lot more than it should have, I think, or a lot more than I thought about. I've taken a lot of stuff for granted over the years when I started streaming properly. But yeah, I think I've finally come to terms with everything now, and it's definitely helped. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the playthrough. I hope you all enjoyed seeing genuinely me in there instead of my persona. And yeah, thanks for just being there for me, especially those people that I shouted out. Thank you very much. It's honestly, it's great to have you around, and it means a lot to me right now. So yeah, I'm going to get going before I lose it again, and I'll see you guys on the next one. So until next time, bye!